aba edeba sunrise jumedie eso ena Ghana enya imfishia edusia enson 67 years 1957 Ghana enya independence enya asem ketewa Ghana ye onipa da senipa anko ko pension enya 7 years a pension pay Ojibia enye asem ketwa we sunrise jumedi ye stream live ewo Facebook GH Live TV and afa GH Live Radio bora ho na fa wo commenting na efa ho na yenkenkan emfa emma wo na Independence Day then na ekoso wo man mo independence na wudi ne sen wo call ku for radio ho na ne ye de eye 6th March no akogina ho na wo ko he na wo ko sen na wudi wo independence no fa comment for your social media handles my yanking kind and for Emma WhatsApp number no any good screening so any ubetu me afa no was save now call WhatsApp no so what send it is the same as the SMS number only data ubetu me so no ede afa ho na ya kinkan ede amawo atade ehemi eneme sparkle kasa blinkins Ghana mantina na yabora mu na independence na hwe me koma de enso so na yi me ho ayefe kama na Yellow Farm Stores Enterprise Adama Lu Farm Stores Enterprise omo na nei omo siesie me ho kama ama me ho ayefe me koma de nyina if Lu Farm Stores Enterprise Atomic Junction oho na womo ewo Atomic Junction overhead na se ho no mu Lu Farm Enterprise ewo ho from ewo 055 4485 446 055 4485 446 Facebook Lu Farm Fashion sanso na Instagram and so Lu Farm Fashion GH Lu Farm Fashion GH
me so me ultimate say me twin about mo fanasa ultimate say me so me ho I feel like I'm looking all good, I'm looking very beautiful. What I say Nina so every Lu Farm Stores Enterprise Lu Farm Stores Enterprise that my sister can omo Atomic Junction show ufri Legon na kai me direction there ufri Legon na wo ba e Atomic first ufri Madina na wo kwa and so Atomic second omo entire ho draw bebre dia ope bia omo de be ma any even big small or size sizes bia just can omo de be ma yeah into upese onyo omo number 0554485446 0544854446 and you can find them on Instagram at Lu Farm Fashion GH Lu Farm Fashion GH yeah and the question of the day and today in history. Let me start with today in history and question of the day.
Yanko
question of the
day.
Answer that. Today the question of the day for today in history.
Who says any na akoye no? And independent.
Indeed.
Auntie. I was say you reserve the best for the,
The best is yet to come.
Yet to come.
The best is yet to come, Ampa. And to the question of the day, Can we boast? Can we boast that we've gained independence today? Can Ghana boast of being independent today? Omana yetimni yebetumi de ensesi yebo se ampa enenye ye fa hodie a yatel ye ho fi abrofo any external influence ye ne omu eni twaka bia ye friend colonization ye frimu ye wo fa hodie afebo a obi ntumi fri ni memo emeka say ye say menye say so can we boast of being independent today? Can Ghana boast of being independent today? Today ampa. And the question, and the event of the day. While who said we are looking all African, and I said all Ghana. What I say? Yeah. So the event of the day, in the year 1957, 6th March, Ghana gained independence. In the year 1957, on the 6th March, Ghana gained independence. Nana.
Akuya.
Ghana, Sisi, you this thing?
Yes, 67 years.
67.
And you never funny at her.
retirement we ni woman
say yakọ pension ye pension pay
na we
enye ne ye di
o di am ebi
enye na wo ti hwe wo si ukro bi ati oho no asumuje nko a pension pay ni bia no
hono bia
Ghana nyina so aba ma ehun fasodie na wenyi
but I say ebi kan wa na o di amamo ai
da bi wo a wo ka kire mi na say wo de o ti yi o
me ka just say me area people am
Otiye. Na uni how.
Me wo how. And dem me wo how.
Na ye ka independence and kwale e de Ghana eje fa hodie ma Ghana.
Doctor Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
So ho. Why akua twade den so no. Very fi say bakosem na nya ono nko a. Omo ye ni pension.
Yeah, black six. The big six. Big six.
To the big six we wait me abobo bi dia ma me.
Nana we na
oh betumi abobo di ni bia ma mekua JB dan kwayonko
Nkrumah
okay ono na oni minuka ko na gale le be sha ase yako
na mabotu
oh mabotu ma penyo otisi na ne papa ka ho
Akufado
Edward Ekufado
enti me se mabotu so botu
ebi
medical
say 33 so omo 6
okay and a man David ubisa me first me ka Nkrumah me ka JB Danko and I was also ma me Clio efa Akufado enti
okay
training na
see yes you akwaje na akwaje nso ka ho obi chebilamte no so so waka JB Danko
yeah
aka wa ko
oh kai yes
ya sam kitwa
ya sam de na so odem be short tight
William Oforiata iti akwaje bi chebilamte
nanka me sabe ya
William Oforiata JB Danko Edward Kufo na Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Nanka me promise ba wal me dike nu me hodora.
And bra wanu ko yiwo ka. Yes da bono. Iti ka abakosem Ghana abakosem a empempe na ya na nipa yetabo ni dia ye Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It's true he played key role on an edi anim. But send you can
he had
yes. Nkrofo ni omu ye adwuma. Enye ono nko anoko no okoye one obi chebilamte mo Edward Akufo Ado one akwaje William Oforiata safo ni nyina aka ho na wo nyina sa pre independence fa ho die ma oman Ghana. And funny enough no they were from the UGCC
in
United Convention Party say then history students mobile one co business
I did business
UGCC
when I
UGCC let me say United Gold Coast Convention
when I catch your Gold Coast manka Gold Coast
United Gold Coast Convention
me catch me tell na me ka Gold Coast
United Gold Coast Convention. Now they were from this political party and we dey nim eje fa hodie ema oman Ghana. And they say TMM utimi nanti free of charge for kai bibia and then ye meso fa chain to na se emfa wun twapo emfa wun ko bi ma so koye dwumaden no ache say ye fa hodie na ye nya. But our question still remains, can Ghana boast of being independent today? Can Ghana boast of being independent today? Say ne TMM no ye betumi de ensesi ye bo ne akase o man Ghana enya ne fa hodie. On say akuase ye kase fa hodie a fa hodie no enye say sisi enya independence ne da ye so keke enye ne sa say bia wote woman mu na obi nso mfiri ni memo be kan cho say ye say ebia ne say akua kwashi ubi sam ye meka say ye nya ye fa hodie
Mrs. Sasana meka
because akuase ye sovereign country na kenya ye fa hodie a ebia ne say aye endra ye kopeska World Bank and until finance minister say o mapanyin twentwen so obesan anti LGBTQ+ one bill no because adan ya 3. We stand a chance of losing 3.8 billion Ghana cedis from World Bank. dollars from World Bank. Akuya, it's in imagine say because of a external influence. Obi tini memu. Ena
obecho de.
Obecho de yeah. Because so exactly. Say your sovereign country, akuya we say yankasa to manage affairs. Eba na yesi kasema yankasa we say yetumi. Exactly, yetumi ka ho asem yetumi esesa nka ye kokwa akuya yenye sovereign country. We yenye independent.
Na tai jijiska dudu.
Akuya bisiane de no so
once Endra, Uncle George can say, Sikana Yokojeneka, or say we spend it more than they were in our country. I say, it's as kind of private to be in our country. Me, I see, say, loan adults. We could use our own resources. You bet me in the Sikao. Never says, we can do more exports. I said, the export is more than the import. I say.
I have some more. Export not also change import no. I was here for better middle comment for your social media handle no can amount. Can Ghana boast of being independent today? And now in Frisia Educia and so 67 years. Can we boast of being independent? For comment in the faho, na yen king and fa Emma Montari Mohammed aye crado pa na neno or the freedom sports. Aha, for hudie agudie nsem.
Independence
now with the freedom sport.
No longer
independence no yenye nroye. It's a good year Montari Mohammed or the freedom sports and so na neno e ba be so mu ye try ho se ma ye ba e be di agro.
Agudie mu nsem na ye du so sisia no media ne Montari Mohammed and there Real Madrid for birthday umenya 122 years Real Madrid for most celebrate birthday in there say Real Madrid the biggest team in the world just a band trophy na bebe na omajo ho ban Champions League dia omaje Champions League sin obia o European bontin so and the Real Madrid for no omudo birthday enye fedi agro and so akwa Ghana Independence Day Real Madrid for some mudo birthday in this celebration no akwa double akwa Real Madrid fans no in the Ghana di just Independence Day na Real Madrid for no so omudo birthday about the European trophies na bebre na omaje o ma say ho a brand FN Nima the Silver the Santos and Chaya no than any cause Saudi Bonte so kwesina kanima Al Hilal team wo ma say no say just on nya kran say transfer budget transfer na we fi Saudi team no akwa kwesina kan dia ma team fofo just so than any cause Saudi team no na say 7 months ni and Chaya na brand ni prado kro na say Brazil for omugo so bo match na brand no pray wo ho match so nsi akan enfa ma team ni bi ba papa no say say no to no kra o person anje transfer no fi Saudi no kwesina kan fa ma team fofo ho ma so kakra if you about if Nima the Santos as well the mama wa ha mo say Ferdinand na wakacha papa FN Popogwa or say abra ye ban 4 years for doping no so much papa no fan Drew Bonnet no the bobo no mama for 4 years ban no papa ne senke o say papa FN Nima e papa FN Popogwa o say na on kasa fa sa ban no so o hwe ban no mo de ama papa na o say ban no de say ye on deserve sa ban so o senke o say name o papa FN Popogwa o senke o say on kasa fa sa ban 4 years ban no mo de ama no fan Drew Bonnet o mo so fa no de bobo no mo say o so ne de no mo ya adwen o so on deserve sa ban no te o say na papa FN Popogwa o say na ko on kasa fa ho Manchester United for na so money abe de den say papa FN Victor Osimhen o say papa ne de den ya sama o mokọ akosan no mo say Chelsea fu ani abre Arsenal fu say ni abe so munya brand o mokọ akosan but United for na say sika be na papa no pe onje penny scope bi o mo de ma no nto mo ani abre say summer transfer de den ya papa FN Victor Osimhen no o mokọ akofo no ba be si na kan e de ama United team ne wo ho mo League 1 na Chelsea ntia yen saka ne say Chelsea next season ne de den ya Chelsea Uber League 1 ne de Uber Eats League 1 no di ne best sa papa FN McDonald okwa akoto team ne wo ho mo okwa akoto Chelsea right ne wo ho mo say from next season no ni di ne elbeto so to be League McDonald League 1 Chelsea di ne best sa from Uber Eats League 1 now come McDonald League 1 into from next season no say league no assistant Chelsea man na ye wo papa no okwa akoto sa right ne wo ho mo next season e de ni din ne elbeto so wo ho mo a is that papa FN Hurricane Chelsea or fire pan Chelsea entra no papa to bo 2 goals e bo aba Munich for no mo che Lazio for our Champions League almost share mo 3 goals to nela o mo ntima the black o mo papa no ndo to me share 2 goals for match Chelsea in all competition no we to match 33 goals in 33 matches papa no Chelsea born home board pa this season no on fire to move this season no kra no on papa FN Haaland who is the best striker in the world right now say papa FN Haaland and as a Hurricane be say o hurricane che say ne mbodembo na ode de na bebre na so si abranta fan Haaland ba Man City for no so mo say mo mpene da Haaland no or a best striker in the world into to you know who is the best striker in the world because abranta hurricane na wasoja 33 matches 33 goals na papa so wetu match wo ho mo de ko ne ni mo ho mo Arsenal eni Chelsea je omweni abede dende se papa efe na Anthony no chese next summer no munya abrante na mbokwa akwasa na oba beje nim ho na wesi aka de amamo ho omweni abede dende ba wo hwa chese omono so my ready to mboto no na chese wa defense club no so mwenye ska no modi esese omutim no ho mti Brentford for no omoti Chelsea anasa Arsenal wa ready be for sika ne bra de hia se ska od beba no eboso eni so di ska ne ba na ehun se ska ne deserve se yanje dia ye beje na eja pe na ma wa ba besi kan dia mom to ye hwe say ya Arsenal for no obenya brante no ana say Chelsea for no obenya ba fe na Anthony baba beji ani mo na watoto ntina dia mom bre ne nkramba na ebe chinti update bi ebe piem ho bia so ye de ho update be ma mo ha mo Ghlife sports so e wo ha mo sim papa fe no Joshua Kimmich na Man City for no me na be de den sa brante no omunya na summer transfer no mokwa akosan no baba be gira 50 ho dia mom Liverpool fu se na abre so munya brante na omo pe sisi say ye hwe sa brante so obaje pene e we sina kan dia ma Liverpool team no anaso obaje pene de si we sina kan dia ma Man City anaso oboko Bayern Munich na we gusu etina kan dia ma Bayern Munich for no wo homo eno so mbre ne nkrabra na ebe kire wo homo nti dia result ebo pimo ho bia so de ho update ebe ma wo ha mo se Liverpool for no just omweni abede dende say Crystal Palace for mo winga just say Pedro omo Pedro no just so ni bobo ye Pedro na te just so ni bobo ye papa Liverpool for no na brese next summer na de and omoko akwasan because papa efe Mohamed Salah no likely say wa hwa next summer no obada ni nia che Saudi Pontin so wakwa kosi na aka de mo wo ho mo nti omo so papa efe Mohamed Salah kwadia papa efe night no omoko akwasan oba be sina kan e de ama Liverpool team no e wo ho mo Barcelona for so ma tagate che papa efe Ruben Amaron say papa efe Xavi so kwa omba no be head coach and for more wo ho ma che say omo target part papa efe Xavi kwa papa no mo target so mo kwa akofa no baba be next head coach e de ma Barcelona team no wo ho ma Liverpool for omo so na be de dende omo tata papa say be papa so onje pene se papa efe Jurgen Klopp kwa ombe head coach and for Liverpool team no ti say ye hwe se papa no so be je pene baba be head coach e de ma Barcelona team no ana so be dan ni a kire England wa kwa head coach e de ma Liverpool team no wo ho ma che say eno so the update bi ebe piem ho bia so ye de ho update ebe ma mo e wo Ghlife TV so e wo ha mo say indra e wo Europe mbonten so no na ye fidi ago UEFA Champions League just a matches no ko so a team FM Bayern Munich omotina fie omoche Lazio e she moka miensa no montimentima da braka papa ye fan che say Hurricane no otumo 2 goals wo ho mo a che say Thomas Muller e de 1 goal ka ho Bayern Munich for no e che omo 3 goals o montimentima da braka go on aggregate no Bayern Munich o ma qualify o mo ko mani ma che say first round no Lazio e che Bayern Munich e she moka bako o montimentim kanenti go on aggregate no akwa 3-1 on aggregate Bayern Munich o ma qualify o mo de ko o mani mo ho mo Real Sociedad de tina fie na Paris Saint-Germain di omochi okosha omoka mienu no motimo ba ko mo papa e fe na Kylian Mbappe no motu bo sa 2 goals no ho mo de bo PSG o mo de ko mo ni match say go on aggregate no akwa 4-1 at the first round no Paris Saint-Germain e mutu ne Landra motimo ko win o away 2 goals to 1 just say goals on aggregate no Paris Saint-Germain qualify o mo de ko mo ni mo ho man de nimbre 8 o'clock Man City betina fie o mo ne Copenhagen de be hye so ho Real Madrid so betina fie no RB Leipzig to the best so on the result ebo pim ho bia nya mbo china ye ba ye de ho update eba mo ha mo say ma yembra fie ne hwe local story e koso ho mandra the president cup no kumasa asante kotoko mo tina fie na sek mumosa o mu fi ko divu abache kotokofo no e hwe mo kamienu no mutumutum ba ko ho ma che so ma ba je president cup ne fie o mu sem o mo tina fie o mo sesen subuwa kase bomen kase pampamondra no che so mo bobo no mtanze she kotokofo na mo che kotokofo ne se mo ye nkwada mutumu fie e ba beche mo ahye mutendra no che se president cup no mo che kotokofo no agi fi o mu nsem o mo hye mo e kamienu no so otumu ba ko e wo ho ma che se e professor Tumeti ono e che se Ghana chese National Sports Authority no drop penino no omutima sake no homo se ne mbodembo no enso ni wo homo to omutima sake no homo chese ma pam no o ma gini dibre ne finisem chese papa ye fe no chese dodi no ma appointing so me interim coach o mbehwe ekire enfama Ghana Sports Authority no ti papa ye fe Professor Tumeti die si sado on ye chese Sports Authority, National Sports Authority, papa no ya gini di brave ni timo modi ama papa efe ndodi ona msande ama so nhwe chire no toto nyama ye enfama Ghana football na enko nanim e wo ho mo pa ya monek fo no no mo na bread den se papa efe ni Jeremy Frimpong just e Ghana ni mum bo sina kan e wo chese Europe te so se Ghana de ya de e baba bi sina kan de national team no wo ho ma chese ne ba ya monek fo no o mo na bread den se munya na se ma transfer mbokwa akwasa bright no baba bi sina kan e de ma ba ya mo team no Jeremy Frimpong just say right back on bo boye papa po ginechi wo mo a just say cross ne de ba na e ba nti ba mo no mu na be de say next time de e de mo kwa akosan ya bright ne wo ho mo Barcelona for no just say ya krala ya for mu teenager just say akoda kuma bi just no no just say to ba just say under 17 under 20 now on the captain the Ghana under 20 team now by Barcelona for no just ma ba fa bright ne say try out just more try bright ne so more share sa bright ne just say ne body bobo so ni no mo de na ka Barcelona nkoda no hu wo ho ma just sa bright no ya man good luck just say or ya man good luck wo mo so onko no kunku ni Muhammad David Odro just say ya krala ya for akoda a just say try it or Barcelona to wishing a good luck on our say captain at the man the 20 team no how much than Yameboa Friday or Olympics game never cost no on the belly the Ghana and the 20 team no how much say wish him good luck our how much I say Accra House of Folk or coach Amakwa Sano no Abubakar Watara no such as or Accra House of Folk supporters no some for most supporting Accra House of Folk team nechi no mukunkum kunim or such as a more bobo and as supporters no some time with ya just a press no kwa more mukumu ho a bobo into Accra House of Folk supporters so almost support or more just a Jumano just a Jumano ye coach no kwa ye Jumano or say coach and the supporters omuni no mu ye Jumano na coach kunim say coach ni ye Jumano as supporters mobile that's a more supportive coach na ye Jumano yɛden to best House of Folk supporters in so most supporting no mu ye adwuma no na kyerɛ House of Folk kan fa no ntoma penfra kyerɛ oba na House of Folk kyerɛ sɛ ba ne South Africa pa the best team in the world kyerɛ the one of the best club in Africa no Accra House of Folk yɛmboa na sɛ Accra House of Folk kan fa no ntoma penfra nso kakra papa yɛ fa no kyerɛ sɛ Abubakar Watara wakadi afa Accra House of Folk team no hɔ brekum Chelsea kyerɛ sɛ ndra kyerɛ sɛ officially kyerɛ wɔde announce na ba kyerɛ sɛ papa yɛ fa no kyerɛ sɛ Samuel Bedu former Accra House of Folk omu coach yes o man 1 year contract o ma san papa no so o befa bekum Chelsea team no be head coach former 1 year contract na papa no ma san e wo ho mo a say Ghanaian striker Nasiru Mohammed Nande Canes FC say o mo no o ma san papa no ho mo a say o 1 year contract no mo na papa no so wo ho mo say ono okwa akosi na kan e de ama mo wo ho mo embranity aha na e di besi e mejama ma sisters no mo atu aso.
Sorry, era sisa odi agudi won se won so no ababesumie Endra the president's cap no my very surprised say kaja independence game ayebo freedom match ayebo freedom football na kotokofo timi atena se ama se kefo afri wo kuro ma ba behye wom 2-1 e the cap ne ko
oga mi angasa Endra na angasa before me start match se me kai say the o me shokotoko
na wo jidi wo kotokum
because we share asek for now omu ye good omu ni mbobo and na we share the last na kotoko mobile confederation of Africa asek for no me kotoko film and omu ye good nto omo so mo ba no mo abo omu ye because omu ni se kotoko egbo home na Ghana so say the independent nto omo ba na ya goro mba be de omo ba na omo abo omu ye papa because omu ni kotoko so omu ye good so omu je omo ho a omo be punish omu ti ndo ano no omo abo omu papa omo de ba but o hwe game na we deal with anyone no more than cash of 2 goals so kotoko from mo bra some ba better can do back because ndo na match ni mo adia mo kotoko a say independent day no ma be say na mo kotoko
oh yes ma be say na Ghana now who say akoye say akoye national match as of now the president cup akoye national match because a game be a bobia and san the independence the following day and I hear the gigi ani oh first na yebone internally na ye between the national teams o mo here House of Folk Brekum Chelsea no na ye na ye boy ye ho and then na say ya try ye shemu kakra na independence pa na akuya wat na ha mo bi fi ni kro mama be show the cap ne kwa independence ye di ne zen independence ye di ne zen
e ye bi mo de
because some are saying
we say there's no heart for me support kotoko for monje instead the heart for the be omo de say ahye kotoko
mo ye ne sanso a enye kama because Ghana ye nyina ye man independence ye ka ho asem ye nyina sasumje wo manu me kan ye nyina enije wo manu me kan ye nyina no football nyina kan ye nyina fa ho die no ho
but to me no nanka I wish nanka so almost because of say for the confederation of CAF to more experience but also dream safe ni media mo some about CAF confederation dreams boy CAF confederation we media say about CAF Champions League the ka things and common dreams and say media ba kokwa na ebo ekura and ka be better because as a Ghana team ni the obeji bia Ghana na age since some bokwa kofa team ofi outside or dey ba because some no about CAF no some more experience na kotoko no mo ko CAF na check akra on te ba na den ya some more experience our African so mo ba ha no o ma fan to the yo mo ba Africa na the experience no on te dem minim say dem obeji kotoko fun
I don't kotoko for my training
o mo ye
ana omo fan say game we normal game bia grobi na yedi I was here for the World Cup World Cup kesi independence when ye you asek for omo fin Cote d'Ivoire Cote d'Ivoire for independence you know ka say independence Afcon your man aje na masiamba ye kuma the president cup so mo say jama mo say mo fa na mo fa nko omo ye host and win ye nduma ye host and win wa ha hey ya no she
almost two for tomorrow ka for abeti
and I maybe
kotoko no yes omo ye training omo ye training pa ba like omo ha on dey na so mo tumi
and one select the right players
kotoko dey utumi ka so one select na crab side into press or so mo bona no mo boy ba just but tumi no mo ntumi because nko for no mo ye good o team on obo Africa 24/7 no experience na wa Africa nti ono obo no wa fan say the you obo Africa now nti ono wa serious no dey ba
na say kotoko for no so mo so mo bobida nyi na ko bo
mo bobida ba si anu say wo share press o mo de bo no mo bo den tam na yes press ni ni
players be na de ko bo chan
o chan is a local press na kotoko press wo
do na wo
dey ko bo yen
enti no mo experience no
o experience mo
experience ka o be ba be 2 meters
but anya mo say asek for no because omo currently omo bo wey omo bo CAF Champions League ndo mo experience ba kotoko no Ghana Premier League ya no mo bo
and you think say omo relax here they relaxed
so it's me sure omo feel say okay they may not have relaxed but asemo ntimi nchire ntimi ne besia na enya asie ebia mo relax ye hu ni so ye be hye wo mo krofo be mo ye be che o ma hye mo fala say Kotoko is one over Ghana Hanoma Bayern yen Ghanaian Premier Leagues na teams na Kotoko is one of the top teams Ghana in Africa so I felt say maybe over confused ka ho oh ye betumi ahye over excitement yeah this is so cool
ma ba say independent today
I say independence independence ndio ma say no kra ma say na and then Ghana e betumi aboast say yenya ye fan ho di ankasa can we boast of being independent today
say from time Ghana is independent up to now oh me to me they say Ghana no it's 67 years think Ghana ni padia o me make say we fairy make say o like ababone bit no because from time Ghana is independent now we should Dubai na dey no kwa na desert but in there she Qatar no Dubai na dey the yet the way mo see but Ghana still yakayechi okay ya say ya ji e fa ho di o fine me fa ho di na ya ji no the minimum say ya ji e won say den time no mo yusu ye na mo de ye edwuma sa edwuma na strip trading
any hobiem
any pen ya ji banka na dey still e wo
ho no mo okay
because say we share from den time because na mo ka about elimina cast ourselves we share den time on be dey elimina cast 1482 say omo no be dey for marketing say good omo ba na mo the good no like on ba den time na good no hanto mo be dey good na them say am almost some goods be no mo dey corner there on to omo no ma fa me for the trade enti China Germany for no mo ba no me pa me sa Portuguese for no na Dutch for no ba no omo no be start say trade no
history student
oh answer na Dr.
Muntari ye history student ai ye jana obeki kansem na ne ye ko ye twa ye ho sema ye ba ye betoa dwumedie no so day ayenya infrisia eduasia enson 67 years ye betumi de yensa asiebo pam aka say no enya ye fa hodie ye ti ho ye ntimi emma wo bi enfri bebia mekere ye ne ye ye be ye sikasem a yan kasa tumi kan ye sikasem ho asem politically economically chese fafa sector bia we are independent. Can Ghana boast of being independent today? If our comment no if your social media handles na yen kinkan emfa emao e be the kind the one e dia ba Andrew say I would say yes, Ghana is independent, but in a global village in most developed countries there is no feeling of non-dependence because they are seen as partners, but in our case it's always a subordinate role, so it makes it difficult to have your ideas stand on their own since you depend on them, but your dependency is not large enough to sway decisions. Example, iPhone in China. Even though Apple doesn't like what China does, they are massive market for the company, so they will make concessions for them, even though Chinese factories depend on iPhone manufacturing for revenue. Intino Andrew Diawo no so no ede aba. Now, Ernest so say no. How can she boast if the Ukraine and the Russia war can affect our daily lives? Ernest so Diawo de aba no. As Ghana into me boasting of being independent because the TMM na Russia and Ukraine for crown talk ya enkayen baby an yes affecting and until the economy no cry yes and we be yenye independent. Uncle George at Senase na yene no ebedi nkomo e de afa Ghana yen abakosem na ya hye Ghana are actually independent and ancestor na no adwuma kakra ewo ho. Uncle George.
Yep.
Akwaba, happy Independence Day.
Yeah, happy Independence to you too.
Uche, you know, no what I did, I just with independence now for freedom, we freedom outfit. It's a channel, I got phobia, a channel, one in town.
Yeah.
At the Mufua. Uncle George,
yes.
Answer now the question of the day in the whole Ghana. In a bakosem kakra, you know, gone are the days in himself when you kakra. You saw how Ghana was some years back, 20 years back, 30 years back. During your time, how you do independent celebration? That experience, not to say.
Yeah. Good morning to your cherished viewers. I was born in February. I am over 50 years old. So I remember because at that time, you know, the school children, Jendu Park, but even from the 4th and the 5th, we have rehearsals, we have seen school uniform, no more the starch. I say, what too so many change. They say, Ushema, now why the last ticket, you know, why the same? There was euphoria. Say we are independent. Your quasi pledge. We are your national anthem. Nia marching and say you can eyes right. Next one two. Nina
okay left.
Salute. Yes.
I missed that time.
Eyes right.
My left. And match pass is such a nice experience. Like it's really nice. Not all match, not eyes. It's really nice. And I will be confusing it. So I say left 10, right 10, left 10. But not confusion.
Maybe a match in my match be sad.
Yeah. Until we share those days from the 60s to 70s to the 80s to the 90s. Now, many me say. Ne significance no tiba for. Yes, even the school children don't really get into it more like we our time.
Okay.
I don't know whether it is because say like one of your viewers who sent in Andrew.
Andrew.
What he said, very classic, because now who said because of the world becoming a global village and we are interdependent on each other. The significance is waning, say a form, but still yes, we are 67 years old, we are independent, but can we really say we are independent? Because now as it is, your anti-LGBTQ plus law as a president signing. Obi to US as a message say opa we a bema sign. and kesika be here for your development, you know. You from out. It means you are not independent.
Yeah.
You are independent only on paper.
Okay.
We haven't put the structures in place that would have enabled us to wean ourselves from the pressures of the Western capitalist people. But we are still depending on them. So once we are still depending on them for even our daily bread, when there was a war in Russia and Ukraine, we were told that because of that war, we are supposed to be hungry because no maize and no flour is coming from there. It was so ridiculous. Say we sitting 8,000 miles away in Africa, you are fighting your fight in Russia and Ukraine, and it should affect our daily bread. So how does it affect the cassava or the plantain that is grown here?
Or the gari seller.
Or the gari seller. Do you understand? So these are the things that we should be looking out for.
Okay.
We should think. We don't want to think. We know any problem. All of us. We don't want to use our brains. Look, the white man uses his brain. We don't want to.
Okay.
And I don't know what to use it for.
Okay.
Because we've got everything under this, everything.
Uncle George, I want to take you back to your days.
Yes.
We have a video. Let's go for our first video. Yaba Yebeka Hwasem. And yet the privileged school building for omo and cry honey me hodo anymore. And chance then be what team. So look at the commitment.
Yes.
This is your days, Uncle George,
Yes.
and I'm a
yes. Many Erica days.
I saw you.
Erica. I like the commitment of the teachers.
Okay.
They have improvised. Okay. They've shown commitment in their drawing for the kids to go and march. We show Obipo Ojo or Matisepo and the
Yeah.
The people are determined. We the people, we are determined and we want to move forward. But the leadership,
Okay.
Our problem in this country is the leadership. School dying, How much would it cost? Say, better drum set. Now, so you discover a Land Cruiser. You look at the cost of one Land Cruiser and check the cost of just one school building now, just small equipment. But we'll go and choose the Land Cruiser over the kids. Do you understand?
Okay.
So we are not really committed to really develop this country. We just say it with Anokeke.
Okay.
The Anokeke na yedeka. You're serious people.
Uncle George, politically we are independent, but not economically independent, and this affects our development and growth decision making. Also, politically we are independent, but economically no. You go so we are.
Independent. Mr. K.
Aye.
Yes, I agree with you in some way. I know exactly what you want to say, but even politically we are not independent. Okay, we have decided to agree to whatever the white man tells us. You see, now, Anka, there are some taxes that have been put on some items that should not be there, but because those we went to go and see for loans, you know, I must say, yeah, we were now no employment. I'm in the system. You cannot employ anybody. So these are the things that we see. So even politically in Krampono, you're independent. We have the political parties, but how independent are they? So we are in dire streets. And as I said, you know, the politicians are suffering, the media men, the judges, everybody come back. Let's have a round table conference and agree, say, after 7 years of independence, we have failed.
Okay.
So let's come back to the drawing board. What do we need to do next? Okay.
Yeah.
When we are able to accept it like that, that will be our first step to real independence. There are so many nonsense we do in this country that we should be doing after 7 years of independence. No.
Yeah.
Look, a classic example. We have this Kantaka man here who is assembling automobiles.
Yeah.
So what stops the government from saying, okay, Mr. Kantaka, every government institution would have to buy 70% of their automobile needs from you. I buy in Japan, and I call US, and I call China, and also Korea, and call crackers in Biabium. Mr. Kantaka, with your cars and mine, Tisika, yet Beko one, a Becca here mine. What stops the government? Or what stops other governments from doing that? This is how the Koreans have been developed. When you see Japanese cars, when they made the Japanese cars in the early 60s and the 70s, now airtime keke. But the Japanese stuck with it. Even India, with their Tata buses. We all saw it. We were all here. Let me tell you something. When Ghanaians were using water closet, 1964, the Indians were still going to the bush. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now they have come to bypass us and gone to the moon and come back. And we are still marking time. So we are not serious. And it all boils down not to we the people, but to the leaders we go and elect. They have a different plan, and we also have a different plan.
Uncle George, local leaders who want the senior parents say hardship, poor leadership, each and every day. Ghana is going back. A country who cannot decide for itself is a village, not a country. I say Ghana. Senior parents say Ghana a village.
Yeah, I agree with him. You see, I don't want us to lie to ourselves. The biggest mistake anybody can do is to be lying to yourself. Who needs car? Who is car? Who mami? Who's you? Do you understand? Yeah. So then, how can you go? How can you go forward? Let's agree for once. Say, look, let's have a round table discussion. Look, we have failed. Ya prima and ye. Okay. Me, I would have said, say, Yako elect members are. So next time, let's try the women.
Okay.
All the men should come and sit home. Now the president will be a woman, the chief of staff a woman. Everybody is the women who are going to rule. And let's see what happens.
Okay.
Because the men we have failed. We have failed miserably. So let's try the women too. If not, then let's go and bring Jesus Christ.
But not better main case. Once I said the price of land cruiser and I'm gonna check it, but it's really expensive.
Very.
Like let me check here. And I'm saying it ranges from 543,000
Ghana cedi or dollars.
Yes.
Wow. Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Wow.
Land cruiser. Now, count the number of government-owned land cruisers in the system.
It does, especially so much. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Convoy. Say, I'm going to convoy.
It does.
I'm a nimpa bako. Ono be or say obaba sevu. Yet go to the schools in the villages. So I say, we the people, we should be smart and realign our thinking. Do you understand? Because we have failed miserably. And it is not we the people, it is the leaders we put in charge. When they come, it is their comfort too. They want to come and chill and ride in big cars and eat better food and drink better drinks. But yeah, how do you, as a developing country who owns debts all over, you go and import Land Cruisers? What for? To me, it is even a crime. The Indians don't do that. India for Ushe Minister the car, Kitwa, get tobacco, menu, finish. And your Prime Minister no on the class will obey that at the end be nice. Because they want to develop. We don't want to develop. We just said we go and read the speeches that we don't even understand or mean. That is our trouble. Look, for this year, I want everybody from the president to whoever down. Let's look into the mirror and ask ourselves some few questions. Suppose Ghana was your own personal company. Will you run it like that? Okay. Are you happy to see school children lying on their stomachs and writing? See teachers walking long distances to school. You will see nurses. They will have to cross lakes and rivers to go to some village to go and treat people. You go to Sifi area, you will see pregnant women sitting on this aboboya.
Motorbikes, bicycles.
67 years and we export everything, gold, diamond, manganese, bauxite, oil, everything. Where is the money?
67 years, Uncle George.
It's gone into the buying of these Land Cruisers and some nonsensical, useless things.
This year's theme, 67th Independence Day, our democracy, our pride.
What?
Our democracy.
See the nonsense.
Our pride.
which democratic pride? You see, these are some of the things that really sometimes I'm like, well, democratic pride. The democracy.
Are you practicing it?
A democracy. It is a wise mistake. It's not working. Is it working? The country is disunited. NDC, MPP. We are split down the middle. Young kind of country, Abba. We are not united. Our democracy, our pride. And we. No, are you happy? You see, and they come and overnight they become very rich and they have their own appendages and acolytes and accomplices they pay money to come and be defending them all the time. It's a very clever trick. It's not helping this country. Look, I am here. Me, at least I have enjoyed small when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s. So I wonder how, I mean, Erica and your age group, how you guys are going to be after school, no jobs. And right after work, me coffee, nice young lady, apparently no, opeska for Totro, their comadina. She boldly asked me, and then I gave her, and I asked her, she's been home for 5 years. How do you expect her to make a living? How do you expect her to live? With the 70 something, 80 years, and for home because you are playing extra time when you sika or about chili. It's a business. It's a really, because it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Say, Sandy Mina, Ecoso. Asafu almost share. Binum can't be soon can't. Even Crapono now no. Yes, you answer on Crapono. You were NDC, yes, near MPP, yes. And this democracy, our pride, it's another sick joke. It is, and they know it. They themselves they know it.
But Uncle George, what can we the citizens do to protect our democracy?
You're protecting democracy. We should realign our mentality and refocus.
Okay.
Speak true to ourselves. And yes, national pledge. I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. I pledge myself to the service of Ghana with all my strength and with all my heart. It's what to find that Ghana is a beautiful country. It's the best country all over the world. Everybody says it. good climate, we have everything on the sun. I'm saying, Nyami Obo Viasano, or said I had Ucha Ghana to her. You'll be a leaders, committed leaders. You see, a white friend was telling me, say, a year of you say Africa Hano. Some of the criminals, they group together and form political parties to be able to win power and get access to the state banks to go and loot money. That's what the white man was telling me.
Okay.
Meaning your argument. But maybe if you know, better no one should do yes. How can you? No. How could you justify some of the things that go on? We're a developing country. We need car. There's open Land Cruisers for $500 and something thousand. What do you need it for? You will lesser pickups to media a round as a minister. If you are a minister, you are serving. You are supposed to serve. You're not supposed to come and lord it over us, but we the people. And that comes back to the question you asked me, how we can protect our democracy. We have to hold these guys accountable, but we are not. We are not holding anybody accountable, so they feel bold enough to come and do stuff. Nobody holds anybody accountable. Nobody. Until I am dead. They come and do whatever they want to, and they go scot free. You see? Now, it is up to you, the youth, because again, if you want to protect your democracy, get yourself an education, educate your mentality. Bob Marley also, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free us from our own minds. Have no fear for atomic energy. Okay, Bob Marley, this song was 1980 and it's still relevant. Do you understand? We have to educate our minds. Say, how do you as a president sit in your country and watch your youth cross the desert, go and swim the Mediterranean Sea to cross to Italy? How do you see, how do you expect that as a president, seeing your youth cross the desert, Niger, cross it to Morocco, Libya, to Tunisia, to cross the Mediterranean? Are you happy? As a president, you should wake up every morning and be weeping. Because if the youth have a future in their own country, they wouldn't be crossing the desert to go to Europe to go and suffer, even for them to even drown in the ocean. Who does that? But we are still watching. We don't even care. You need compassion. You need tema. And
also, you see, Ghana, we have resources, but yet we are still underdeveloped.
Yeah, resources, no. And also, it comes back to this independent thing. We take the cocoa, instead for us to process it here, we export the raw beans, and they make it into chocolate and stuff, and they bring it back, and then we go and buy
it again.
Why don't we stop no exportation of any raw materials? Everything we have to process it here. Upe chocolate now, bebeto waha. Upe milwa, bebeto waha. Upe gold now, come and buy here. Even we have thermal oil refinery, yet we'll take our oil, take it outside, go and refine and bring it, because people want to chop in it. But then at the end of the day, no, I said it is our fault, because we have allowed them to do this, and we just watch them and then we are clapping, and they are also doing it. How? I mean, who does that? If you want to develop and you have the thermal oil refinery, you are, God has been so good to give you oil, and you take the oil and take it outside to go and refine and bring it. So what is the thermal oil refinery supposed to do? But we are clapping and we are drumming and dancing, and they will do it. Do you understand? Yeah, because we the people, you're serious.
Uncle, do you think that the problem is with the leadership? Is it with age? Because Senior Perez said this is time we need to get rid of these old people.
No.
And probably bring in younger people.
Yeah, I agree with him.
The problem is with the age.
The age is one. They don't care about us. Eh? Two, this our constitution, we have to sit down and rewrite it again. Eh? And three, me. Now, no, you as a minister or you become the president, your oath that you swear, eh? This time you should Bible be okay. In Yabeko Nananom style. Okwane dia ahye wo sem no ogino no waswe se me ba let it bebu on my phone and am here we nsuo kwe enkumi. You see that we have corruption. But how we don't fear the Bible again because nyame or ye merciful and compassionate autonomo ase. Madam Fubike chem say nyame na or during Moses time no I don't know what pension. Okay. New one or so merciful because during those time Moses time no passion way I know you, but this time no or you too merciful into amanyimpa ye nyomonyoma bi understand. It is say you see you as part of your oath no here for Bible uba ye uba ye aderu krawo wo swear say me ba na say bebu omanfo be diska say sia nso we enkumia they wouldn't even go to do politics omo nyina be suru but they use the Bible, they come and talk, they don't mean it and they go away.
And you see, but why is it that Ghana we find it so difficult to be self-reliant?
Okay, that's another great question. So let me tell you this. About fono kono, omo my independence, you know. Na enyo omo yema. They had always wanted to have a way of coming back, so they gave us a democracy. Okay. They knew perfectly well, per the nature of the African and our cultural mindset, you know, we will not be able to practice it. They should have allowed us to evolve our own political experience to be able to rule ourselves, whether it will be a one-party state or it will be a kingdom or whatever. No, we were not given that alternative. They came with this, democracy in the practice. A democratic experiment, multi-political parties. The multi-political parties. You know. A group of armed robbers can also group together and form political party. And when they win power, they will start stealing the people. That's a very clever way, clever, classic. You see, so these are some of the things that go on. And you know, we need to sit back and say, look, after 7 years, you know, you're failing. Until we would have to rethink, sit down, and find out a way which will help us to develop through our own governance. Okay. Then we wean ourselves off these Western capitalist people, because and he still wants to come and take your minerals for free. You heard what France was doing in Niger and Burkina Faso and even Guinea. Yeah. Yes, these are all independent African countries, but their central bank is being ruled by the former colonizing power, and you call it independence. It's not. It's a joke. Let's speak true to ourselves. Okay, let's love this country. It's a beautiful country. Let's speak true to ourselves. Okay, that look, baby, you do know, yapim. Well, yapim. And see, what next do we have to do? Okay, then we'll see what next we can do. Okay. Because right now we are failing. Yeah, we are failing.
Uncle George, adding up to Mekria, a question about natural resources. You know, Romeo Edisam said Ghana can't boast of being independent because we still depend on these white people for survival upon all our blessed God-given natural resources. Yes. We boast of diamond, bauxite, gold, and yes, still. Even chains are you tied to your kumukran. You tie crabo.
I said Romeo Kano, Romeo, good morning. What kind of question? Well, and bring out to say, you be the question. We the people, as a country, let's speak true to ourselves. Let's look ourselves in the mirror and tell each other we are failed miserably, woefully. Okay, so then what do we do next? We shouldn't be so arrogant and so boastful. So, oh, you democracy now. I've conquered this time. We are last. Equatorial Guinea crab Abikomorus. A whole blaster that can go to Nigeria and score them 7-0 and go to Kenya and then score them 11-0. A whole blasters and our blasters in a good. Yes, man. Are we building a nation? Look, it is the only way that will take us out of this. And yet NDC MPP. There are good guys in the NDC, there are good guys in the MPP. I know people in there, very good guys. But the system no you are held down by how the system is. Let's speak true to ourselves. Say, maybe you do know. It's at the yapim. What next? How best to do it? It cut across board the whole sector. And from education to health to whatever. Let's speak to ourselves. They say, I don't know how are we going to do it? Per se, with political angle, the NDC MPP. No way. Because if you ask me, they are all the same. But I don't have any, they are all the same people.
Uncle George, if there is one thing I bet to me as Sessa, I will minimum. Am I a democracy? Is it a sovereignty? No, to me, Edimwa. What could it be?
Our leaders should change their minds. Okay. There's something in economics. It is called a trickle-down effect. Say, I saw one set a good example. Who I said, who say, who be any other thing? Understand?
Yeah.
I'm out for the Rwanda excuse. In the 90s, they were in a civil war. But I went there to cover it. Okay? Yes. It was genocide, mayhem, tragedy. You understand? But they've been able to dig themselves out of that hole because of exemplary good leadership. Also, on your democratic. Do we eat democracy? You can't eat democracy. His people are being fed. They have house. They go to school. What was we democratic in Kwampo? You can't even afford one bowl fruit in the morning, and you say you are democratic. Okay, take your democracy. You see, it's a joke. Me, speak true to ourselves and let's move on. Because now, no, where this country is going with this IMF also coming in to give us, intense pressure. You don't employ Mwabeji loan. How? I mean, how? A whole Ghana, how?
Yeah.
Also, you see, Ghana then and Ghana now, we are far behind. And
yeah, look, those days, in the 70s and the 50s, Oko University, you are fed well there. You are fed. You are chicken. Huh? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Painfully, those who enjoyed all those privileges are the one depriving you people of that. Ask yourself, is it fair? Omo enjoy those things, you know. Omo new rule, the concept say now you have to pay fees, feed yourself. What kind of education is that? And we're all sitting and clapping. It's a joke. It's a sick joke. Let's speak the truth to ourselves to say, you just put NDC MPP aside. You're feeling this year, you're better. It's a better, you're cry you some about say, the president. No, so we the people. So it behoves on us, we the people. If we change our mindset, say, look, yes, we say we are going democratic way, fine. Anybody who comes and becomes a minister or the president, we hold you accountable to the laws of the land. You can't appoint so many ministers. Check how many ministers do we have? How many political appointees do we have at the Jubilee House? Is that the way to go? Suppose Ghana was your own personal company, would you run it like that? But it's a kind of your amodia. And this is baby. Every person have a yebi. Or what? We should have a yebi. Unless we say it's enough. Let's sit down as a people. You are failing. What do we have to do next? Because the nation we are going to leave behind for our children, Erica and Nana and your children and all that, will be a terrible place. Meanwhile, we would like to go to US to go and chill. If the Americans had run their country like that, would you have gone there to go and work and get money?
Okay. All right.
If we had done this country well, the blacks, the black Americans there will love to come and then settle here and bring capital and expertise to come and help us to grow. But because we have mismanaged ourselves, they are even afraid to come.
Uncle George, you better say.
Yeah. Okay.
Final words.
I want to wish everybody, from your CEO to the general manager to Nana to everybody, a happy anniversary. And hopefully next year when we meet, Ghana would have improved better. And you two ladies here, you look exquisite and beautiful. And then a back past day.
Gracias. Peace, Eddie Abasa. It's a beautiful no. We have been subjected to bad leadership, and it's quite unfortunate that our citizens have been exploited due to a lack of critical thinking. We base our judgment on tribalism, religion, and family, forgoing the knowledge of critical reasoning. Peace, Eddie Abanono. Albert Yamoa. As not really, we are still slaves under our colonial people. We still depend on them. Most of our activities are influenced by them. It's a way any commenter hodwa ebiaba yakeka Japheth esena na cheso no oni enyaji. We are still under the influence of a abrofono. Adeshiman, the show has been educative and interactive. Uncle George Edia Fema Church and Yenimia we still have work to do. Ekuya ejuma wo he say ye papa. Enti wa wo share independence na yekoi wo adwumu no initially na aka say yaje your fan hodie after the conversation I have here do you still think we still have our independence?
We don't. When the medical control I say we don't. Nina LGBTQ Nina Nina control say Ghana there da be any all those say your fan hodie but it be more different like other sides any fan.
Okay, Romeo, happy 67th Independence Day to you guys and the entire crew. You guys are really looking pretty good today with your beat. Romeo that's a pan. And Tadia Shisha ye many a crea if you Farm Stores Enterprise. Farm Stores Enterprise. Atomic Junction or ho and now womu able to Atomic Junction overhead Nasehwa Ubenya Farm Stores Enterprise. Woman number is 05544854446 05544854446. Ye why fe ye koma die nyina bibia if you Farm Stores Enterprise. Bora hona so kwaje na Ghana mantene ye nyina ye rocky emmom. Ye da production team ni nyina ase enye omo akadwumedie into me enkoso seni akoso production and ye producer Mr. Emmanuel Dinat and afenso ne light man Daniel Yeboa MC na Kwame on the enko abel fontentan kese ne so abednego omo nyina ebo chidom emadwumedie no ekonkan ye beda Uncle George ase seni nso no sanje bre eni yen atwetwe enkomo catch us same time tomorrow. Happy Independence Day.